lot more, less congestion, less
Great idea.
traffic.
That's
So
what I
where
want.
is North Oak
Just one
exactly?
One block.
One block.
It's just on the other
So
side
on
of
the other side by the
pizza.
pizza place?
by the
Just west of the
Courthouse
pizza
and-
place.
Okay.
Yeah,
That'd be a better, I think you get better visibility there
yeah,
too.
more open.
But you can't block the street because of the ambulance access to
Yeah,
most
that's what,
of
that's,
them.
I already noticed
Yeah,
that,
but
like the
the
ambulance.
lot.
Just the
Yeah, you have
lot,
full parking.
Yeah.
and I'm not making any
Exactly.
commitments from the
Yeah.
county, but just that lot is
It's
large.
huge.
In
Under
other
city
words, it's
parking.
Probably more
possible to
space
have
than
it
the
in
street.
lot.
Yeah.
And you could close that street.
Oh, you can?
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
Oh, yeah, we
even
do it.
still, if you put the farmer's market in the lot and
Right.
let
You
people
gotta
park
watch.
along the street.
You really gotta watch when you put something in a lot, because the first farmer's market they had was in this lot right here.
Mhm.
And it became such a car safety hazard that that's when they moved it out to the Wi-Fi part, because you could put the vendors back and the cars could come in, you know, in that kind of circle thing. But, so that's my only scare about a lot, is I don't want somebody run
But
over.
don't let people drive onto the lot.
Well, that's true, but.
You'd have to block it off
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, the whole alleyway, we can't.
But I think that's a solution we're thinking about.
Eric, you said that you can't block that street, even though it's an ambulance access?
There's 3 other directions to get there.
Yep.
So,
Well, and the other alternative is I move it back to the Wi-Fi part. I was trying to beef up the city, to give the city something going on to where you would draw more people into the city.
Especially downtown.
Yeah,
I
there
think
is
it's a great
nothing
idea.
that says I can't go to the Wi-Fi part.
Don't get us wrong.
Oh, I know, I
We love
get
the
it.
idea, it's just that
I get it, I just need,
it's
you
also
know,
tight in this area.
I get it, but, you know, so the problem isn't I have to have a place. The problem is, I'm trying to help the city. And it, you know, our organization is a very, neighbor-friendly type of organization where we all come together and everybody helps each other, and it's just that kind of a group. But, you know, if you go too far off the road, then you're not seen and it's fruitless. So it's kinda like trying to find the best fit for everybody. But we do have the capability to go back to the Wi-Fi. It doesn't work down there.
Commissioner Randolph.
Yes?
I'm presuming that Ms. Sherry here would have to come to the commissioners' meeting and request the use of that lot. And certainly you wanna start May 17th.
That was the target date. I've already
Okay.
canceled 2 of them, so it's okay.
Okay. What I'm hearing is that maybe it would be good to explore the use of the lot on the corner of Oak and Broadway. That might solve some issues and prevent some other issues from creeping up. And that if for some reason that doesn't work out, come back and we'll see what else we might be able to do with the council. Is that amenable?
That's,
Council.
yeah,
I think it sounds like a great
I
idea.
think getting downtown is a great
Or
idea.
the Memorial Park.
Well, I'll just give you a little background. When we started here with our barbecue wagon,
all right, let me drive it.
we started that because we were sitting at the farmer's market. I was selling my goat's milk soap and lotion, and he was helping. And we said, what does this place need that can make this market better? And here we are in beef country, but you never see anything beef, so we opened up a brisket business and we've been inundated ever since, but.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
But I mean, it was kinda like, I'm not really what it does for me, I'm kinda more like what it does for our community. I've done for me for a long time, now I'm just ready to give back.
I just had a quick idea.
Yes.
What about Memorial Park?
Thought about that, but it's so far off the path, not,
No.
I mean, it's not like.
By the
Memorial
water
Park's
tower.
right across from the
Oh,
courthouse.
the one, okay,
It's
that one.
right there by the water tower.
That's another place I looked at, but I didn't know if you could use that or not.
Yeah, that'd be another,
That's a city.
resource.
it is, and
That's
you have both
another
sides,
great
it's on
Yeah,
the
it's
weekend,
location.
nobody's at the courthouse.
No one's
City
driving.
and
Yeah, no, I learned something.
Yeah, that would work, cause that's a good place.
Yeah, and
You
you
can get around
have all
it.
that parking on both sides of the road. Yeah, you have the walkways on
Lots of
both
space.
sides, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
No
shady.
stakes in the grass.
Oh, okay.
so So what does that do for the vendors' tents?
Well, most of us use a concrete cylinder and just hang it from the sides. Cause you can't hardly drive anything out there at the Wi-Fi park either, so it's fine.
That's not a deal killer then, most days.
No, I just worry about the amount of traffic that might crumple the grass.
Grass recovers.
That's right.
We hope so, cause there's a big fire there.
A giant.
We noticed the whole,
That's a crater.
Okay, so
Anyway.
if Memorial Park looks like it might work, you wouldn't need street closure request.
Nope.
Okay,
Porta
So-
potties, I need to put them somewhere, cause I have to have.
Right.
so.
I think we're still where we were the last time I spoke, which is there are some options to explore, and we'll keep this request on file if you need to come back.
So who do I talk to for Memorial Park?
we're a third of it,
Yeah.
at least two-thirds of it.
So,
Y'all are making this hard.
However, you probably got everybody's vote for Memorial Park for our third. But you'll have to go to the county to talk to them
Okay.
about their two-thirds.
Okay.
Debbie, we have the western third.
And, logistically, we could have this on a commission meeting, May 14th.
Okay.
That's as soon as.
okay. And in terms of the city park ownership, I believe we can, within this office, say yes.
Thank you. That'll work.
This was a wonderful
That'd be,
discussion, thank you.
that'd be the ultimate place to think.
I'm sorry, I'm still out of my mind, I just had back surgery, like major back surgery,
Yeah,
like
just
5
the other
days
day,
ago.
you were here the day
Yeah.
before you were going in.
Yeah, and I'm like sitting over here like I'm flushed,
You're good.
but I do appreciate it.
Thank
And
you.
do I need to,
But you're welcome to stay, but you don't have to.
Oh.
Just give me a call.
okay. No, I don't think I wanna stay, not that you aren't nice people, but I really need to be on now. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Sherry.
Mr. Rolfs?
My name's Todd Ross, I wanna, make an additional comment about the farmer's market. I think it's a wonderful idea to have a farmer's market on Saturday, because what that does is opens up the avenues that those who are not able to do it on Thursday can do it on Saturday, every other week. And it gives those, vendors an opportunity to show their wares, that might be altogether different from the one that's being marketed on Thursday. As far as this being a first time adventure, there's gonna be some hiccups, and, but we learn from those hiccups. So we make those adjustments, whether this area would work or this area would work, or whether these vendors would be okay and these vendors not, so, but I'm excited about it. In fact, I was actually looking for it this past Saturday, thinking it was when it was gonna start, now I'm finding out it's not gonna be till the 17th. But, I think it's a great idea for us to do for this community.
Thank you,
Thanks.
thank you. Ms. Murray, you're up.
I'm being kidding.
I wanna do a memory bench in Heritage Park, and this is the design. You can swipe sideways, this is just the back of it. It's made by, Mocha Precast in Montana City. And then you can swipe, this is just the back, but if you swipe it, you'll see what an actual bench looks like, but it's concrete, it's not wood. So it won't get trashed. So it goes no, the other way. And then that's not it, but that's what a bench looks like, when it's complete, and then goes, now go to the left, you'll see the design of the back of it,
This is an honor.
Henry Packard. And he was well known in the community for a long time.
One that's
What's
built.
that? Heritage Park.
Heritage Park, right across from where I live, yeah.
Did you have a specific place that you wanted to?
No, I didn't know the city had a specific place, because they need more seating there for the playground, the events, for people to sit. There's only a couple benches for people to watch their kids play. And some of them face the street, not the playground. Yeah, they face the street, so they can't watch their kids play, yeah.
Typically, we ask that you work with public works director and
Yeah,
things like that.
cause I wouldn't put it in the middle of the grass, we have to mow.
It's not going.
Or weed eat, or whatever, so yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would want you to tell me where's best to put it, but, yeah, and then they'll deliver it for me, because my daughter and son-in-law own the company. That's the only way.
Does that require footings?
They're gonna put those in.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Perhaps show this to
Yeah.
Eric too. That's- she's got my logo.
That's what it looks like, and then that's what it would look like when it's put.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Dallas Cowboy store on that?
No, we don't
Someone
say
said
that.
the front door. Nate?
That's why we didn't put Dallas Cowboy on there. We just all know Henry. We know that, but I told her, do not put Dallas Cowboy on there. We just know it's the stars in heaven.
Okay, okay.
We don't want Dallas coming here and having a fit. It's just the stars in heaven blue, they're all blue.
Exactly right.
Yeah, so anyway, we just wanna know if that can be approved so that we can put it there. Cause I don't want it in my backyard, cause then it'll probably get trashed. When I leave the world.
Are there questions from council, JB?
We've got a few existing benches that, I don't know if they're memory benches or if they were for sponsorship for the park originally.
Their
As I
memory,
recall, they're wood slats. are
their
they not?
memory, cause one says memory of Bob,
Their memory?
Oh, yeah,
Curtis.
Bob Curtis, yep.
That's one facing the street, it says Bob Curtis. I think there's one more, but I don't know what it says.
There is, it's, on this end of the park, and it's in memory of, Crystal Leonard and Craig Burns's little boy.
Okay. I just know that when they face the street, you're a mom, you can't watch.
Cause see, that would be my suggestion, is if we could put it in by the playground equipment, cause the moms don't have anything to sit on,
They don't.
you know, so.
They have to sit on those rocks, or
Yeah.
sit on the swings, or,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the only place for them to sit.
Yeah.
So,
So, yeah, so if we could put it in the wood chips area and that, it would really get used, and it would be a good spot for it.
right, so, I mean, we can meet with you and decide where would be
Are
the
there-
best place to put it.
Are there questions or comments from the public at this point? Yes?
I have just one little suggestion is if it's around where the kids are, maybe make sure that the corners are rounded, so that.
They are, you wanna see it?
So there aren't sharp corners this time.
Yeah, you wanna see it? They are rounded. They are rounded, they're not square.
Eric, do you know how long the wood slat ones last? 'Cause that's gonna last forever.
Oh, they've been there for a long time, those ones have.
Okay.
She knows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's
they're
not an
rounded.
issue about compatibility, it's something wearing out faster than the other.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, wood eventually is gonna give way, don't get me wrong, but, man, I those, Okay's 14, so they've been there about 14, 15 years, so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, the wood benches are not rounded, they're square. Yeah, so,
Is there a motion to approve the request?
I make a motion that we approve the request by Kay Murray for a memorial bench in memory of Henry Murray.
Is there a
In
second?
Heritage Park.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve Kay Murray's request for a memory bench in memory of Henry in in Heritage Park. Any further discussion from council, from the public? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion is carried. Mr. Nygaard, you're up.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm Dean Nygaard, I'm with the American Legion, I'm kind of representing the Legion. As everybody knows, we lost a hero in Heaton a couple weeks ago. And we brought it up at our Legion meeting last night, that we'd like to have a walk of honor for Mr. Heaton on the 17th, which is going to be the day of his memorial here at the, I believe the Mountain View Church. And we were hoping to have somebody close to Rowan drive his tractor down. And whoever wants to join the Legion, it's gonna be just a walk from Pine Street down to Memorial Park. And unfortunately, I've had family plans for the last 2 months, so I'm not gonna be able to do this unfortunately, but I'll make sure that the proper people are doing it. If anybody wants to say any words or whatever, but, the Legion's on board, and, my request is that, we get permission from the state and the city to block off from 10 o'clock in the morning, or 9:30, I guess, until, it's only gonna be about half an hour walk up there, so it's not gonna, probably until 10:30, 9:30 to 10:30. That's my first, request. Any questions, I'll be able to answer, I hope. My next request is Memorial Monday. The Legion has a big, celebration for fallen heroes up at Memorial Park. And I am the sergeant at arms, for the Legion, and one thing I've noticed is that I would like, and I'm going to request this, weather permitting, cause if it's raining or whatever, we'll just move the whole celebration down at the Legion. But if it's beautiful like it has been the last couple of years, I'd like to get the streets blocked off a couple streets before, because when you're sitting there, and third request, Madam Mayor, we would like you to be our guest speaker.
Thank you.
So, it'd be nice to be able to hear our speakers. We have, veterans, wives, you know, come and talk. And I just know that it just kinda drove me crazy having big trucks and cars drive by and motorcycles, and this way we have just a time of respect, because I'm gonna be coming before the city council within the next 6 months, I'm hoping, for a big idea that the Legion wants to put forth, but not today.
Question. One moment. Ms. Rouse.
Is it possible legally, would the town allow it, would the state allow it to have a, deputy sheriff or even Sheriff Rouser lead the procession, you know, with the lights flashing in honor of our, community, person to?
I think that whatever plans the Legion makes in terms of, you're talking about the Walk of Honor?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was hoping for either a fire truck or a police,
Police officer.
escort, you know, as long as you keep up that tractor.
I think it'd be very fitting for that occasion, so.
I think it'd be very, very respectful.
Yes, it can be done, John.
Yeah. Maybe get the high school involved with the band.
Just need to ask the sheriff.
Just need to ask the Sheriff's Department. Okay, the first request is a request to close Broadway from Pine Street through
Walnut,
Walnut,
up to Walnut.
up to Walnut. Sidebar, thank you. First request is request to close Broadway from Pine Street to Walnut on May 17th from 9:30 to 10:30 for the purpose of a Walk of Honor. The map is here showing the block off, the request for the barricades is here. Are there any comments or questions from council? From the public, any further questions?
Mayor?
Yes.
I have a question. If I'm following this right, the 17th would be the farmer's market and
There is a dart tournament.
the dart tournament, and this?
But this is only an hour window.
Yeah.
I'm,
Yes, you are correct, it's very busy on Broadway. I think with the limited time, that we're probably okay still with that. And that it probably wouldn't hurt any of us to honor this
No,
request.
absolutely.
Yeah. But thank you for pointing all that out, yes, it's a busy day. Is there a motion to approve the request for May 17th Broadway closure?
I'll move that we approve the street closure request on the 17th from 9:30 to 10:30 from Pine Street to Memorial Park for the Memorial Walk.
To Walnut.
Walnut.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the request to close Broadway on May 17th from 9:30 to 10:30 from Pine Street to Walnut. Any further discussion? Further discussion from the public? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion is carried. Council, please, I will just hand this and you can sign that request. The second request for Broadway closure is for the 26th of May from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. from Spruce Street to Cherry Street for the purpose of redirecting traffic so it does not interfere with Memorial Day activities taking place at Memorial Park. Are there any questions from council on this request? Questions from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve this request?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the street closure of Broadway as described on Memorial Day.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the request to close Broadway for Memorial Day activities on the 26th of May. Is there any further discussion? Any discussion from council? 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m.
Thank you.
Yes. Any comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion is carried. And send this down. All right, thank you.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
What about, our special guest speaker? Is that, gonna be voted on?
No, I'm just going to accept the request.
You will?
I'm just
You will?
going to exercise what little power I have to accept the
So,
request.
that's a yes?
Yes, it
Thank you
is,
so
and
much,
I'm
ma'am.
honored to do that.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda tonight is the growth policy resolution. The public hearing was held on the 29th. There was no public comment. I did ask our contractor, WWC, to see if they could increase the size of some of those supporting documents, and that, yes, that has been done. The resolution that council will act on is resolution number 2025 R-04, a resolution to adopt the 2025 Townsend Growth Policy Update. Whereas in 2010, the City Council of Townsend adopted the Townsend Growth Policy, and whereas section 76-1-601 subsection 3 subsection F subsection little 3 MCA requires that the Townsend Growth Policy be reviewed at least once every 5 years and revised if necessary. And whereas the City Council retained WWC Engineering to assist the City of Townsend Planning Board in its review and update of the Townsend Growth Policy. And whereas in May of 2024, the City of Townsend Planning Board started the review and update of the 2010 Townsend Growth Policy. And whereas the Townsend Planning Board undertook a variety of public outreach meetings and practices to encourage public input and participation in the review and subsequent updating of the 2010 Townsend Growth Policy. And whereas the Townsend Planning Board held a public meeting on June 13th, 2024 at Townsend City Hall to gather public input on the goals, objectives, and vision for the City of Townsend. And whereas the Townsend Planning Board and WWC Engineering prepared a draft growth policy for public review and held a public hearing on March 13th, 2025 at the Townsend City Hall to gather public input on the goals, objectives, and vision for the City of Townsend. And whereas on March 13th, 2025, Townsend Planning Board voted to recommend adoption of the 2025 Townsend Growth Policy to the Townsend City Council. And whereas the Townsend City Council held a public hearing on the 2025 Townsend Growth Policy on April 29th, 2025 at Townsend City Hall to gather public input on goals, objectives, and vision for the city of Townsend. And now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Townsend, after accepting public comment at a public hearing noticed in accordance with state law, hereby adopts the 2025 Townsend Growth Policy as submitted by the Townsend Planning Board. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
I make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2025 R-04.
I'll second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number 2025 R-04. Is there any discussion from the council? And because I know all of you have read that growth policy, are there any comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion is carried. The remainder passed and effective by the City Council of the City of Townsend, Montana, and approved by the mayor this 6th day of May 2025. Thank you. Okay. The next item on our agenda is the city dog kennel upgrade. The plans and the bids are in your packet. Our city compliance officer, animal control officer is here. John, do you wanna make any comments with respect to the bids that you received?
Nothing's changed this time, no. Since the 29th meeting.
Okay. So the total estimated cost on this upgrade is $10,853.86, and that total includes the low bids on the ones that you got, right? Okay. So that would be, concrete work would go to A to Z. And the HVAC system is a wall mount and the ceiling mount. The kennels, the modular kennels themselves are listed,
And they're coming out of a manufacturer called Kennel Master.
coming from Kennel Master. Construction bids, you see there the materials and labor. Modular tote shelving. And this would be for combination of the blankets and things like that and food, John?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we can't remember everything, there's a miscellaneous line item, $250. We've got some donated materials for new dog run door, and then there's some fencing to improve access, and also try to keep some of the dogs who are our guests inside. I understand we had an escape artist not too long ago.
Yes, we did.
Yes, okay.
She didn't make it far, but.
But she did. Our budget the city's budget this year includes $20,000. That was a broad estimate that we had received last year during budgeting. So this is coming in at $10,854 basically. Would entertain a motion to approve the kennel
Hey,
upgrade.
that's a question there.
Yes.
Sure. I don't know if it's relevant, but is there a place for dog food, is like if we give you new storage?
I've already acquired the storage for the dog food, so it's not gonna be in a drum, a metal drum anymore. It's actually one that the same thing I use for my dogs.
Okay, so it's not better.
It's rodent-proof, weatherproof, it's on wheels, it's rollable, and then the shelf shelving also is gonna contain spots for example, overstock of dry food. The Helena Humane Society's already offered to donate wet food. I've been in touch with, Rocky Mountain Supply. They're gonna put a bin aside. And that bin's gonna be used for broken bags and that kind of thing, that they're gonna donate to
So there
us.
is adequate
We
space.
should have adequate space that I've designed in, on that one end for shelving.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from council? From the public? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the dog kennel upgrade project?
I motion we approve the dog kennel upgrade project.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the dog kennel upgrade project, $10,853.86. Any further discussion?
Question, how
Yes.
long before once we approve this, does this get done?
I can get together with, I'll have to get a date on the concrete. Logistically, it's gonna be, I've gotta set the concrete first. And then basically the kennels, the new kennels are going last. I've gotta have some place for the dogs to go for exercise and that kind of thing. So concrete first, kennels last, and then, we'll get, as far as contracting work is concerned, that can happen anytime. My biggest thing is getting the kennels coming. There's already been talk of price increase, cause Kennel Master is not US based, it is overseas. So time is of
John, will this be done by June 30th?
June 30th. I think so.
Is that kind of what you were
Yeah,
asking?
before the heat of the summer would be nice, just for.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, any other comment or question from public? Council, last call, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion is carried. All right, thank you, John, for all your work on putting this together.
Thank you.
Street project update. Who wants to talk about that? Did anybody sign anything on a, notice to proceed?
So,
I did.